Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. And today we're bringing you the Tottenham fan phone-in show. I just want to welcome, shout out a few channel members before we get into it. We have Arthur Everett, we have Adam Fox, Spartan7 Gaming, Jordo Stevens, Elliot Walsh, Wayne Bonner, Matthew Collins, Will Stewart, THFC Rants. We have Brian Daigle, Wayne Winter, Joe Grimes, Premier Hotspur TV, Vuller Volodin, Danny Kiriakou, Dolphins Cry, Nathan Collins, Kieran MacDonald, Celery Agent, Bob Spur TV, the BG, TG Lewis, Kev Williams, and Rob C. Anyone that's a gold and a white membership, the link is up in the community section. Click the link, come on and have your say. I want to see the names behind the faces. But look, before we get into a few formalities, let's welcome a few people to the building. It's good to be back, lads, I'm not going to lie. You know, I've had a few days off now, a few days rest, and it's great to be back. But let's welcome the few people. We have Mesco Bar. He says, Mr. Irish, I'm counting down. Big up. We have Mr. K. He says, come on, you Spurs. Hashtag the Harris Army. We have Shamu Von Spurs tuning in from South Island in New Zealand this time, David. Queenstown, to be exact. Big up Queenstown, all the Spurs fans out there. We have the Smasher. Big up the Smasher. Absolutely love that name. We have the regular, come on, you Spurs. We have Celery Agent. He says, hashtag Harris Army. We have the Smasher. He says, loving the Irish Hotspur. Shamu Van Schlong says, been 5 days without a cone celery. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Jordo Stevens, Jordo, I want to see you on this stream tonight, my man. Big up, Jordo, of course, channel member as well. Welcome, dude. We also have Wayne Bonner, channel member. Big up, Wayne Bonner. He's here with the super chat. He says, let's show our support for the Irish Hotspur. Let's do him proud and help him out. Big up, Wayne Bonner. And yeah, look, that brings me on to the formalities. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. Make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel. Like I already alluded to, there's a pinned tweet, and in the description below this video, there's a link for the channel membership. Make sure you grab a white or a gold one if you want to come on. And of course, if you get the gold, you also get to do a Tell Me Your Spurs story as well. And yeah, also get your super chats in, lads. You know, it really does help out the channel. It really helps me achieve my dream as well. It all goes back into the channel, getting better equipment and bringing better content and everything for you guys. So, but thank you I just want to say thank you so much for all the support and love so far. We're already at 1,642 subscribers. Let's make that to 1,700. Let's get the name out there. Let's push it. We also have Wayne Bonner with another super chat. He says, Jay Chapman, hope your mum's okay. Yeah, same to you, Jay. I really do hope your mum's okay. We have Terry Bishop. He says, what's up, Irish Hotspur? What's up, my man, Terry? How you keeping? Bob Spur TV says, love you, big fella. Bob Spur, we love you too, man. Anyone, I encourage you to get over and check out Bob Spur's video. It's a quick look. It's not long enough, but it's just a short video of what the man's been through. Get over and check it out. You know, he's a true warrior. Big yourself up, Bob Spur TV. Jay Chapman, he says, hello, David. Hope you're okay, mate. I've had such a bad day. My mum had a heart attack. Hope you're okay, man. Look, forget about me being okay, Jay. Man, honestly, you know, we all know, you know, without your mama or without your papa, like, you know, life is going to be so hard and everything else. I really do wish her a full, speedy recovery, man. And I send her all the luck of the Irish Hotspur. Look, you know, if she's anything like you, my man, she's a trooper. And she'll definitely pull through. She'll be made of tough stuff, Jay. Big yourself up. We have We Are Tottenham TV. Big up, David in the Harris Army. Big up, Benji. I think it's Benji. It's usually Benji. But if not, big up, Sim. Of course, we have the quiz coming up with these guys over the weekend or next week. I've got some good questions ready. I hope you're getting the research in, lads. Let's welcome a few more people. We have Holly Agambar. Big up, Holly, as well. Of course, done the Spurs story with her. Get over and check that out. Oh, of course, I've done the watch along for the We Are Tottenham TV boys yesterday as well. Check that out. Jesus, I'm absolutely everywhere lately. We have Mac. Yeah, of course, we can only echo this message. Prayer for Jay's mum. And of course the smasher here as well, saying I hope she gets well and all of that as well. So big up, Jay. Look, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I really am. You know, it's hard. We have Paul Brown as well. Big up, Paul Brown. But lads, we already have a few people in the background waiting. So let's bring one of them on. He was the first one in here. Let's bring him on. It's Joe Grimes. Joe, welcome, my man. How are you keeping?
All good now, David. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
No problem at all. No, I want to thank you for becoming a member of that, man. You know what I mean? It helps me. It helps me being able to sit here and provide this content for Spurs fans like yourself to be able to get the voice out and get your opinions out as well. Look, I already know, but why don't you tell everyone else, man? Where are you from in Ireland?
I'm from a place called County Offaly in Ireland. It's roughly halfway between Dublin and Galway. So, yeah, I'm an hour from both places, and I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, look, you know, it's a lovely county, a lot of farming and bogland in the county. But, you know, look, it's only down the road from me, Joe, you know what I mean? Look, if you ever want to come to a Spurs game with me, just let me know, man, and we'll organise to go together and that. We get a nice little Spurs family going over from Ireland. But look, what do you want to talk about today, man? We go in the direction you want to go in.
I suppose we'll have to... I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look at transfers. I suppose it's the big summer ahead for Spurs, and just look where we started with the recruitment side of things. Like, have to start with centre back.
And have you anybody in mind, lad?
Consa is the name that's coming to mind at the minute. Premier League experience, and he's also a Spurs fan, so he'll get it once he's on the pitch. And maybe Vestergaard as well. He's Danish international from Southampton. He's a good player, and yeah, his Premier League experience as well. And I think that we need to look at Premier League experience, I think, coming up this summer instead of bringing in.
There's a lot being made about that as well. Actually, people saying, you know, let's get players that have the Premier League experience, the know-how.
Yeah.
And that's the route you think we should go down, my man.
I think so. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, look, Consa and Vestergaard are two names that have been touted around recently. Consa, look, you know, everyone that's I've heard speak about him says he's a great defender. I've watched him. I do think he's good. But is he what we need if we're going into this rebuild, considering we do need a leader or two to come in? I'm not 100% sure, but look, if he came in, I definitely wouldn't turn my nose up on him. Vestergaard, one thing I'll say about them Southampton players, man, is that, you know, a lot of them, when they do come out of Southampton, they do go on to bigger clubs and they do go on to have a good career. Vestergaard is an absolute unit. If you could sign one, who would you pick?
Probably Vestergaard, I'd say, but more experience than Constant. You have to look at Van Dijk when he went to Liverpool, and when he's surrounded by better players, he elevates himself. He elevated himself as well. So I think Vestergaard, I won't say he's as good as Van Dijk now, but he definitely could improve himself if he's surrounded by better players. Become a real leader at the back.
Yeah, 100%. No, we do need that leader at the back. That's huge. What about right back? Do you think we need to sign a right back in the summer?
100%. Get Matt Doherty out of this club as soon as possible. He can go play in the League of Ireland next season.
Did you watch him for Ireland the other night?
No, I can't watch Ireland. I can't. It's just impossible.
Jeez, lad, I think I must be the only Ireland fan watching the games at the minute.
No, like, I'm just on the phone whenever the match is on. It's just impossible to watch. It's pretty grim watching them now. But yeah, right back is crucial this summer. Max Aarons is the first name that comes to mind. Anyways, young player and got a lot of potential and also Premier League experience as well. And I know he won't come cheap, but he'd be the first name on the list for me right back.
Yeah, 100%. Look, Max Aarons is a player I really like. I do think we've missed our chance though last summer. I do think the big fish will be in around this summer. And, you know, look, it's going to drive the price up. And we know Tottenham, we're not ones for spending big. But look, who would you look to clear out? If you could pick two out of that bunch of defenders to get first out the door, who would you pick?
Probably Lloris and Aurier, because they're 1 year in under contracts and you might get a few quid for them. But then also the Deadwood players like Dyer and Davies, I just can't stand looking at them play for Spurs every week. It's depressing. So
Yeah.
there could be 4 or 5 players at the back that could leave. Even Sanchez, if we got a decent offer for him, I'd send him off. But whether that's going to
Yeah.
happen, it'd be tough to get £42 million for him that might have invested in him 4 years ago.
Do you think Daniel Levy will take a hit on it?
He should, because he's not getting that money back. If someone came in with 25, 30 million, take it, like straight away, just take it and run away. Because
yeah. No, look, if we could get him out the door as quick as look, if someone came in and put in the money, I'd definitely take it. I'd snap their hands off. I'd drive him wherever he needs to go, to be honest with you. But no, look, I agree with you, lad. There is probably, you probably could say 4 or 5 of them could go. But look, that's what us fans would like, but it's not realistic in terms of football sense. I do think you might see a change up of maybe 2, max 3 across the back line. That would be phenomenal. But would you give Jose the money to spend, considering people call him the best defensive coach in the world and defense is our biggest issue? Would you give him the money to rebuild that defense?
I don't know, because last summer we didn't. In my opinion, we didn't back him last summer. Like centre back was his main priority last summer, and we didn't give it to him. Like I know we got Joe Rudden, but that wasn't the answer for us. But like if we're not going to back him, just sack him. To be honest, I hope to do back him, mate, because he could do wonders if he was given the money. But we're Spurs, so yeah, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, 100%. Bob Spur, you have to be a white member or gold member for the link to appear in the community section, my man. No, look, for me, I would give Jose. Look, I do think, as disappointing ultimately as the season has been, compared to like being knocked out of the Europa League, gone out of the FA Cup, we were top of the league, we're not now. I do think it's been disappointing in that aspect, but you can only work with the tools you're given. And
exactly.
if he can get that much promise and get us gassed with that sort of defence, which has been exposed ever since, all season long, to be honest with you. Imagine what he could do if he was given the money to improve that defence. But look, that's just my theory on it. But the next question, sorry?
Is it realistic though? Is that what happened? 100%, I do the exact same as well, David, but I don't know if it's realistic in this current climate.
Yeah, that's it too. Look, I don't know. Look, me personally, I would trust the players that Jose would bring in, to be honest with you, if they were his players. And this is the problem. Not what the board wants to give the manager to work with. Like, if you're going to have Jose there this summer and you're going to let him rebuild it, you have to let him identify the players that he thinks going to take you on to the next stage. Look, me personally, I actually think they are going to. I do, as I think they probably would have sacked him over this international break. That's probably that's just my opinion on it. But look, do you think we're going to have the finances to even look, whether it's Jose or not, to even have a proper rebuild?
I don't know. It's anyone's guess, to be honest. I know
because I think it's 1.17 billion in debt, and that's including stadium and stuff like that, which is obviously long-term payback and stuff. But it is alarming.
Yeah, but I know we do have to sell a lot of players, so that's going to make up the bulk of the transfer kitty, selling players. And but the board have to put their hand in their pocket if they want to get out of this mess.
Yeah,
the only way we're not going to fluke this by just hoping for the best and just giving Jose average players, because it's not going to work out. It already isn't.
No, that's the thing. If it's average, look, if we weren't going to go down the rebuild of a Jose sort of rebuild, and it was going to be kind of like average players coming in, or they're not even going to change the squad, and they just believe another manager could come in and get better out of these players, what manager would you have your eye on?
Probably Nagelsmann or Ten Hag. I'd say they're good at bringing young players through, and they work with what they have, and and if we're going to go into another 5-year project, they'd be the two names that I'd nail down as a spot for the manager, anyways.
Yeah, look, the only thing with Nagelsmann for me, look, he has one of the best scouting departments behind him in Europe. So these players, these players they properly do their homework on them. They're identified, and look, they usually sell their players onto big clubs. So I think in that aspect it might let them down. And the fact is, from the November the Champions League final to the November when Pochettino got sacked, if that was all one season, we would have been relegated. And if Nagelsmann, he's not known for changing up his system, so that would worry me. Now, look, Den Haag is a very interesting choice because he works with academy players at Ajax, and he has to constantly rotate 2 or 3 in there every season, and he still gets a song out of them. So that would be a very interesting rebuild.
Yeah, I think so as well. But you have to look at when we got to the Champions League final as well. Our league form on that run into the Champions League final was diabolical. And you have to wonder, like, was getting to the Champions League final worth it, because it did paper over a lot of cracks in the club.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
It's a great day, but it did cover up a lot of cracks, and it's kind of one of the reasons why we're in this mess now.
100%, man. I fully agree with you.
It was kind of a make or break moment for a club, and we didn't make it happen, and we've just been on a decline ever since. And yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. Like, you know, if we didn't get the Champions League final, I think we would have been talking about these issues a hell of a lot sooner, and that's a great point. Look, Joe, it's been great having you on. Is there anything else you want to ask me or anything like that? But before I let you go on, bring on the next guest.
I know. I think happy enough now. We can roll on to the next guest. Dave, thanks for having me on, and hopefully I'll be on again soon. Really enjoyed it.
No, 100%, man. We'll get you on again. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter, man. I do want to chat to you. So make sure you hit me up on Twitter. Like you said, you're already following me. And look, thanks so much for becoming a member. And thanks so much for calling in, my man.
No worries. Got to show love. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Thank you, man. Really do appreciate that.
Cheers.
I'll see you, man. So look, we're going to bring on the next guest because we actually have a few in the back here waiting. We're going to bring on Mr. Arthur Everett. How are you keeping, my man?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me on, David. I hope you're well. And
it's no problem at all. I'm keeping well. I'm keeping well, my man. Just quickly, we have a super chat there, Arthur. As people know, look, super chats take priority. So I just have to take this quickly. It says, with reports of limited funds, if we clear the deadwood, how much do you think we could realistically raise for transfers? And could we get players Mourinho wants, needs for a rebuild? Arthur, what's your opinion?
Well, don't forget, this year we have to pay back the government because we had a £200 million loan off of them, and that's got to be paid back in full. So that's quite a bit of the money what we had gone, if you see what I mean. You know, where have we got the 200 million from? It's got to come from the board, some of it. We haven't, you know, there's no money through the turnstiles or nothing like that, but we have to pay that back. So that will stop us a long time. That will stop us getting the players we want to, because we've got to pay the government 200 million. Yeah.
And do you think they brought in some guy to get the naming rights of the stadium sold and kind of push that? Do you think maybe our transfer business hinges on that and the bit of money we got for the sleeve sponsor on that as well?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we won't be buying many players what are cost 40s and 50, 60 millions. That's out of the question. We won't be, because we cannot afford it. We've got to work with what we got. Some of them have got to go, but who's going to buy them? And if they don't want to go, they stay here. Yeah. You see what I mean? You know, you can't make them go.
Yeah, 100%. And we can't have a little club of Danny Roses running around, can we?
Oh, no. No, that's true. But, you know, people say, "Oh, get rid of what's his name? That Irish player on the
Doherty. Doherty.
Yeah, but if Doherty don't want to go, he don't go. Yeah, does he? You know,
that's true. That's true.
It's all like saying, "Oh, yeah, we'll get rid of him. We'll get rid of them," but the buck stops with the player. If he says, "I'm not going," well, then he ain't going nowhere. You know, that's where it all comes from.
you think that's where we need to be a bit old school, Arthur, and just send them to the under-23s is what it is now, or you know what I mean? Send them to the under-18s and make them go and train or something. Back to the old school way. Make them learn, get a bit of respect for the club.
Yeah, that could happen, but you know, then we need a squad, don't we? If you send them away, it depletes the squad of players what we have already got. You know, it's a vicious circle. It is a vicious circle. You know.
Well, 100%. Look, I can't see Daniel Levy going down that route. To be honest with you, he's not going to let things get that far where you're going to have, you know, them sort of players just hanging around. But everything about this is starting to scream when Pochettino first came in, and he had to kind of adapt his squad and get rid of a load of players. And what do you think about that, Arthur?
I think Poch made a mistake when he said we don't need no new players. You know, when he said that, we never bought a player for 560 or days or whatever it was. But for him to say we don't need no players was wrong. This club has needed players for a few years now.
Yeah.
A few years ago, we should have started to rebuild our team a few years ago. But ENIC, Joe Lewis and the board never invested in new players. They kept the players what was there. And then when Potts come out and says we don't need no one, well, you know, what can you do? Yeah,
100%. Look, you know, I think that was a failing on Pochettino's, because by the end of it, it kind of came that, you know, he was saying we don't need new players, and then he was saying we need new players. I think it was a case of parroting what Levy and all wanted him to say, and then he just got fed up. He just got fed up. We have a couple of super chats to get through here, Arthur. But big up Rob C for the super chat, my man. I really do appreciate it. What an absolute hero. Bob Spurs upgraded his membership, so no doubt I'll see him. I'll see him there. We also have Jordan Stevens. He says, big up. He says, Arthur the legend. He's a big fan of yours, Arthur. Emily Dunn says, well done to Joe Grimes. Yeah, big up, Joe Grimes. It was great speaking to you, man. We have Wayne Bonner. We have the transfer kitty there. Sales will add to it. Sanchez and Ali bringing in the most. It's time for the board to finally back a manager. What do you think on that, Arthur?
Well, this board hasn't backed many managers, has it, for a long time? It's always been the cheap option. Will it change? No, it won't change at all. You know. Oh, but first of all, David, I would like to say to that, is it Lee Chapman about his mum?
Oh, Jay Chapman. Yeah, Jay Chapman.
Yeah, Jay Chapman. I hope your mum gets better very, very soon, Squire. And you know, just think of her. She's getting better, and she will get better.
Big up, Arthur. Big up, man. So much respect for that. But 100%. But look, Wayne Bonner, I do agree with you. It's time for us to stand by a manager and actually get the board to put their hands in the pockets. You know, everyone get behind a manager the way we did, whether it's Mourinho or a new manager, get behind whoever's in charge next season, 1,000%, like we did with Pochettino. And then that way, you know, the board, we might be able to force them slightly into doing things a slightly different way. So big up Wayne Bonner, big up Jordo Stevens, and big up Rob C for the super chats. And we have one more here from Sean Mitchell. Big up Sean Mitchell. He says, big up the Harris Army. Great topics being discussed. We'd love to get on shortly to have to put the kids to bed. Yeah, no worries, lad. Look, you know, I'll probably still be on by then, I'd say. We've a lot of people to get through. So if I'm still on, man, come on if the kids are to bed. But big up. Thank you so much, man, for the super chat and the support. And everyone else, you know, super chats guarantee your comments to get read out. And it really does help the channel grow. Arthur, what do you make of Gareth Bale's comments over the international break? Basically saying that, you know, he came to Tottenham to get fit for the Euros, but ultimately he's going back to Real Madrid.
Whatever way you want to take it, really, isn't it? He's sort of saying, if you want me, buy me, you know, tell me that, you know, you're going to keep me for another season. If not, I shall go back to Real Madrid, because whatever way he does, he's not losing no money. He's still getting 600 and something odd £1,000 a month. To me personally, I suppose I'll ruffle a few feathers here now, but we should send Gareth Bale back. That's my own opinion, because he hasn't. We was all up in the air when we said, yeah, Gareth Bale's coming back, and we expected so much. I did as well. And to me, he's been a big disappointment. A big disappointment. You know, he might play one good game or two good games, but that's about it. But to me, to pay his wages, what we have to pay, £240,000 a week, that's a lot of money for us these days.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, he's not worth the money. Now, you know, you could go out and get another player who would give you a bit more than Gareth Bale will. I'm disappointed Gareth Bale hasn't performed like I thought he would. That's my biggest disappointment in him. But
yeah, look, for me, when he came, I was always willing to give him 3-4 months to try and get up to speed and get fit. But I was hoping it was the intention of coming here for a 2-year plan and seeing it through. I kind of feel a bit hurt and let down that he's kind of just using us so that he can play the Euros, you know, play for the country he loves, and then just go back to Real Madrid and play golf. It's a bit upsetting, to be honest.
Yeah, it's right. It's right. That's, you know, that's exactly what he's gonna do, really. You know, I don't think
he doesn't like the rain over here when he's playing golf, Arthur, huh?
No, that's right. And he can't afford, you know, to keep paying the rent on another house over here when he's got his own house and golf course over there, you know?
Yeah.
But one thing I'd like to say, and I suppose this might ruffle a few feathers as well, I don't think we're going to go out and buy a 60, 80 million pound centre half.
No, I don't think so either.
To me, who would fill in us and give us a lot more than Dyer would is Dunk from Brighton.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. Yeah, he's Premier League experience, I suppose. You know what I mean? He does know what it takes to play in the Premier League. He'll be hungry coming to a club like Tottenham.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to be the answer for years to come, but he would get us through a bit. You know, he would get us through next season.
And how much of a fee do you think he'd command, Arthur? Do you think maybe because it's Premier League buying from Premier League and the fact that he's English, that the price tends to get ramped up? Do you think they might try to extort us?
Well, they would. I suppose every club is going to try to do that to any club that wants to come in and buy one of their players.
Yeah.
But with Daniel Levy there, I should imagine he won't want to pay no more than 25 million for him. You know, and if we could get him for that, that would be a star player for me, because he would, you know, fill in the gap for the next season. He's better than Dyer.
Yeah.
Much better than Dyer.
Yeah, 10 times better than Moon Boots. Anyway, I can't stand him at this stage. You know, look, he had a good start to the campaign, but you know, look, ultimately his time over his course in Tottenham in his Spurs jersey, it's been poor. It's been very poor.
Oh yeah, you know, he's made a lot of mistakes. The goalie's made a lot of mistakes as well. You know, I can count up at least before he started playing a bit well. Now he lost us 10 points.
Yeah,
you know, where he, you know, let silly goals in. I mean, that's 10 points. If you'd have put the 10 points on top of what we got now, we're in the top 4.
Yeah, that's the truth of it, and we're comfortably inside the top 4 as well, Arthur. I fully agree with you. Agree with you. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah,
we cannot get rid of Jose. One, we can't afford it because he's on £15 million a year, so that means we've got to pay him over £1 million a month. But to me, Jose, you know, there's no better manager out there. If he's got the right players and players what play for him, what give 90 minutes, because some of our team do not give 90 minutes for that shirt, which is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, the old teams of the 1960s, they'd give their blood for Spurs. You know, they'd
Yeah.
play. They would play through brick walls, but some of this team isn't, and they're letting Jose down. And when you think Jose is one of the best managers in the world, to me, but I would keep him, and Daniel Levy won't sack him.
Yeah.
He won't sack him.
Yeah, no, look, I'd agree with you, Arthur. Look, for me, I would give Jose Mourinho the summer transfer window, and I'd give him the start of next season, you know, the first few months of next season. To be honest with you, I do think he will have a good season next season if he got in his signings. Look, Jose Mourinho doesn't always need the best players. He just needs players that he wants to work with. But, you know, ultimately, whether it's Jose Mourinho or another manager, we're going to have to follow suit anyway and go with whatever the plan is, whoever comes in charge. But Arthur, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm always speaking to you on Matt Hayes' channel. It's nice to get you over to the Irish Hotspur and have a chat with you as well, my man.
That's very, very kind of you, David, and it's very nice to be on your show. And you will only get bigger and bigger like Matt has. So all the best.
I really do appreciate that, Arthur, man. You know, and look, it starts with people like you, people, everyone in the chat, you know, everyone that comes on, you know, everyone that throws in the super chats and becomes channel members. It's all because of people like you. And, you know, I can only continue with everyone else's support. So big up, everybody. And Arthur, big yourself up. I can't wait to do the Spurs story with you. And we'll get it out then, man. I can't wait to upload it and let everybody see it, my man.
Yeah, I've got some stories.
I bet you do. I've already heard a few of them. But look, Arthur, you kick back, relax now. You go and have a beer. And you enjoy your weekend, my man.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
See you, Arthur. Bye.
Bye.
Now, before we bring on the next guest, which is Will Stewart, THFC Rants, excited to get him on. We have Wayne Bonner. He says, Jay Chapman, keep your chin up. We're all with you. 100% Wayne Bonner. I fully agree. Let's welcome Joe 27. And we have Terry Bishop. What do you think of Tottenham getting Dybala? Apparently made a bid for him. And I like the Tottenham to sign Max Aarons. Look, I don't know. They pulled out of it last time because of all these third-party stuff. So I'm not 100% sure on Dybala. I'd love him to come. But whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. Rob C. channel member, he says, could have a decent defender for Bale's wages. Yeah, that's a good point, man, 100%. We have Jordan Stevens, channel member. There was a lot of hype around his return, as much as I believe he's Tottenham through and through. I didn't believe his heart is in the game anymore. And, of course, that's in reference to Gareth Bale. And we have Wayne Bonner here saying, let's get them super chats in, 100%, Wayne. You know, you're always so generous with the super chats. And we've also had Robbie C. And a few others, Sean Mitchell and that, get them in, Jordan Stevens as well. But big up, thank you so much for the support, my man. But look, let's bring on the next guest here. Let's bring him on. A big welcome to Will Stewart, THFC Rants.
What's going on? What's going on?
How are you keeping, my man?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing today?
Oh, good, man. So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I mean, in one of our streams that we had on Wednesday, it was about kind of like this Bale question, and on that particular night, there just happened to not be any, guys from UK on the show.
Yeah.
And as Americans, from our point of view over here, we were just kind of curious. Like when we first saw Bale's comments, I didn't seem to get upset or offended because that type of talk, I guess you could say, I guess, like blunt honesty is fairly common with pro athletes here. And so I was just kind of curious why everyone, jumped on it so quick and made a huge deal on it. And I just kind of wanted to get your guys' perspective from over there on it.
Look, for me, with what he said, look, he had a big smile on his face. And with Wales, he tends to get a bit loudmouth. We know that, that through his time at Madrid and stuff. Whether it's play acting for the boys and stuff like that, look, could probably just be him bantering. You know what I mean? He's around his fellow people. But in terms of Tottenham Hotspur, he's come out, he said he's loved the club, he's this and he's that. It's not the right noises to be making around the current situation at the club. And for someone that has his experience around big camps, you know, Wales, Real Madrid, of course, Tottenham before that, and everything else. I feel like I'm disappointed. The fact that I feel like he's used Tottenham for this year to get himself ready for the Euros, and you know, and then next season he's just probably after that he's going to sack it off and go back to Madrid and play golf. That's what it seems like to me. Look, I can only speak from my opinion, Will. There's loads of other people that think, look, he was just joking around, clowning around, having a laugh. You know what I mean? But for me, I just think it's a bit stupid with the current situation going on around the club, and that's why I'm annoyed about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely understand that point. I don't necessarily think he was necessarily clowning around. First off, I think that the reporters' questions were pretty loaded. Right. You kind of get stuck in a weird spot where you can't really you got to answer it in a certain way. You know, no matter what answer he would have given, it would have come off bad, to be honest, with that question.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he either goes, well, you know, I want to play for Spurs again. And then if we don't give him another contract, then he looks like a fool. Right. And now he gets shamed. It's free. If you were to say, yeah, I'm loving it here. I want to come back and I want to play for Spurs again next season. It's going to be great. And then Levy doesn't give him another contract. How does he come off? He comes off as not being good enough for Tottenham Hotspur, and so therefore he has to go back to, you know, his career is over. And yeah, I just think that I don't think Gareth Bale, if you really look at his press conferences, he always sticks his foot in his mouth. I don't think he's ever had a press conference where he hasn't stuck in his foot in his mouth.
Yeah,
I just think he's kind of dense when it comes to that kind of thing. And I didn't necessarily take it as I mean, there's a lot of people that I saw on Twitter, like, you know, I never want to see him in a Spurs shirt again. Like, I mean, it was, you know, that's pretty harsh for someone who at one point in time could have been a club legend, right? So, I mean.
Yeah. But look, that's football. It's very much a reactionary sport at times, isn't it? You know, sometimes it's hard to take yourself out of the immediate and think bigger picture. You know, like, look, I think people are just generally disappointed in those comments. But look, I can understand. Look, he's probably just having a bit of banter. I get what you're saying. It kind of with Gareth Bale, there's always going to be loaded questions at him, and they're always going to try and make a headline and a story out of what he says. You know, it's like Jose Mourinho. They do the same with Jose Mourinho. You know, look, there's plenty of players they do it with. You know what I mean? But yeah, look, I just hope he was messing with. I hope it was kind of like, look, I'm a Madrid player. I don't know what Spurs' intentions are, whether they're going to take up the second year. So I'm just going to play a safe answer. See, we don't know because, you know, we only get the headline and the comment and then we pick what we want from it. We don't actually get to know what's going on in the background. For all we know, he might be in the lurch with Spurs and don't know if we're going to rekindle that second year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what his agent came out and said after the fact, right? Yesterday or something like that, where he was saying, you know, the original deal was what Gareth said the original deal was, and he likes where he's at, and he would love to play a second year, but that hasn't been offered yet, right? So, I mean, you can only say what it is that you want to say, but
yeah,
you know,
we have Joseph THFC81, big up with the super chat. He says, sell Lloris, Aurier, Doherty, Davies, Toby, Dyer, Sanchez, Winks, Sissoko, Lamela, Dele, send Bale back to Madrid. Haven't done much, if we're honest. Jesus, man, you must want us to play with the under-23s next year, Joseph. No, but look, I agree. Look, Lloris, it's up to him whether he sticks around. You know, we all know the PSG option is there. Aurier, look, I agree. I probably do want him sold, but if it's one or the other between him and Doherty, I would actually rather keep Aurier and sell Doherty. I just don't think Doherty's ever going to make it or have the desire to put in a performance for Tottenham, to be honest, considering he's an Arsenal fan. Davies, Mr. Anonymous, everyone knows my feeling on him. Toby, I think, is a good man to keep around the camp. Dyer, I'd sell. Sanchez, if he got an good offer, I'd sell. Harry Winks, Mr. Stinks, everyone knows I want him gone. Musa Soul Train, yeah, look, he's not pulling Jose's way, get rid. Lamela, Will, I'm going to let you take this one. This is your guy.
Yeah, sell him for sure.
Yeah, Will wants to sell Lamela. Look, to be honest with you, I still think if we can get an offer for him, sell him. But I do think in a Jose Mourinho team, I think Jose will keep him around. In all honesty, I do think that. But he doesn't warrant it. Dele Alli, look, for me, it's up to him now. It really is up to Dele Alli. I think, all this has been brought on himself. Jose Mourinho, when he first came in, he tried to pinpoint Dele, he tried to motivate Dele. And I firmly believe Jose Mourinho wanted to work with Dele. What do you think on the Dele situation, man?
I think the Dele situation is something that we need to wait and see and kind of give him some more time. I mean, he's only 24. I know that's not super young in football ages, but it's not super old either. I think he's got 3 years on his contract left.
Yeah.
So you could probably give him one more year to try to do things. Now, if selling him is, if selling him helps us to strengthen what we already have, then I'm okay with that, right? Like if moving Dele on brings in 45 million pounds and allows us to purchase a player in a spot where we're really, really lacking, I would say go for it. But if it's like 20 million, like they're talking about going to PSG, or 25, I think I saw today, I don't think that's enough. I'd rather keep him for another year and hopefully try to, get him to be back on form, and then his price doubles immediately, right, over a season. So, if it was a player that was past his time, if it was like a Lamella or a Moore or something like that, where their value is only going down after season, regardless of the form that they're in, because of their age, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and move him on this year. But he's still young enough that, if he came out and had a 10 goal, 12 assist season next season, you'd be happy that we didn't move him on, right? So and I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I mean, I'm saying it's possible. So he has that in him if he wants.
So where do you stand then? Would you give Dele Alli another season, or would you cash in the summer if the offer was available?
I think it would depend on the amount, right? 20 to 25 million pounds, I think, or euros or whatever is what I think PSG is they're talking about. I think that's not enough, right? If you were to go 40, I would say okay, yeah, because then you can really, put that into a defender or something like that, but not for 25. No, especially if it's a player who is worth, 70, 80 million, 2 years ago. It's
No, I get you. But big up THFC 81 Joseph, my man. Thank you so much for the super chat. And everyone else, look, I know it's a payday. What better way to spend your money than helping the Irish Hotspur take this channel to the very, very top and become full-time? Get your super chats in. It guarantees your comments to be read out as well. There is one there from Awesome I'll get to as well. I want to welcome a few people to the stream. We have Peter Mensa, James Ward Prowse, man, Dead Boss Specialist, Wonder Holic, man. Where do you stand on James Ward Prowse? Do you think he'd be a good addition with?
Yeah, I think he'd be okay. I don't think he looks like he has some potential. I mean, has he really shown that he can do it at a high level? I mean, a super high level? Not really, but I think he's all right. It can't be any worse than some of the other people we have on the squad. So
100%. I agree with you, man. We have Kieran McDonald. He says, report that guy for spam. It's already done. We have Sean O'Neill. Dave, my man, well done, bro. Fair play to you and all you have achieved over the last few months, and long may it continue and grow. I'm here to back you all the way. Big up, Sean O'Neill, man. What a comment. I really do appreciate it, man. And thank you so much, man. Awesome. He says, how much pro players can we get with Bale's fees? Look, I'm not really. I don't know. You could definitely get one in, I'd say. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I can run the math here pretty quick. I mean, it's 275 times 52. 14 million pounds is what his annual wage was. So, I mean, you could get a small player in for that.
Yeah.
Do I think you could replace Gareth, the goal contributions that Gareth had this season on the right wing for 14 million pounds? No, I don't think you could.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a winger for 14 million pounds who's going to bring you 10 goals a season, right? So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Will, have you any more talking points you want to talk about, my man?
No, I mean, that's it pretty much. Thanks for everybody in the chat who is showing the love and the support. Thanks for all of you guys who have followed us over to the night show. And even though it's a show for folks in the US, if you guys in England, make sure you subscribe too, because what I do is I break up those really long 3-hour streams into kind of the best segments, and I throw those up there too. So it's a little bit easier to digest, during during the day, and those tend to pop up, first thing in the morning UK time. So, yeah, go ahead head on over to THFC Rants. If anybody wants to come on from here, if you live in the US, it's around our prime time from 10 p.m. Eastern to around 10 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, David, thanks for letting me come on and
no problem at all. But before you go, man, we're going to let you take Wayne Bonner's super chat, man. It says, would you sign Vinicius in the summer?
No, I wouldn't. Not for the amount of money. If it's 10, 15 million, maybe, right? Maybe 10 million, probably closer. I think it was just a big miss and kind of a short-sightedness not to go in for Ivan Toney this summer. And I know that he's kind of made some negative comments about Harry Kane being selfish and stuff like that. But I still think that he's, as far as gameplay is concerned, an all-around, number 9, much better option than what Vinicius is for that type of money. So,
yeah, no, 100%. But everyone, look, I encourage you. Will does the graveyard shift. That's what we call it around here.
Yeah,
He does the one over. It's a prime time America. For any of you passionate Spurs fans who, because usually I was doing the graveyard shift. So, I'm not anymore. So any Spurs fans that after me and you still want more content, get over and check out Will. He puts in great amount of time. You're absolutely flying it with the subscribers in such a short space of time as well, Will. So you must be doing something right. And I really enjoyed the channel. I've been on it. And look, I'm a night owl, so I'll probably be on it a lot more. You'll probably see my ugly mug over there.
Anytime, my friend.
A lot more. But the Harris Army, the Irish Hotspur Army, get over there and show Will the same support.
And we're debating Lamella tonight. So if you like Lamella, come and check that one out.
Well, what more do you need? Look, anyone who's pro Lamella and thinks he should stay, what more incentive do you need? Get over there to the chat. Will puts out the link. You can all go on and stick it to him and let him know why you think he should stay.
Change my mind. Will. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
You're a legend, my man. Thank you.
Oh, you're the legend, my man. Take it easy.
Thank you, man.
All right, bye-bye.
So, look, there we have it. Thanks so much to Will. Everybody get over and check him out. Geez, the chat is absolutely flying. Lads, if you want your comments to be guaranteed to read out, make sure you get your super chats in. Trust me, this is hard business trying to get everybody on and get everyone's chats in, but I hope everybody's enjoying the show. But let's waste no time. Let's bring on the next man. We have Jordan Stevens next, and then after Jordan Stevens, we have Brian Daigle and then Bob Spur TV. But if you guys do want to come on together, put it in the private chat and let me know. But I'm going to bring on Jordan Stevens now. My guy Jordan, big up Jordan. How are you keeping, my man?
Hi David, not bad. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, lad. Look, I've had a break. We didn't have a good international result yesterday. A bit peed off with that. But look, it is what it is. I'm in good spirits. I'm smiling, as you can see. Most importantly, how are you keeping?
Yeah, not bad. Good to be back. I personally am not a fan of the international break, so I watched you on Real Tottenham TV yesterday. A bit of even entertainment for me.
Yeah, no, look, hopefully I provided a bit of entertainment anyway. I think that's what I was brought on to do, lad. But no, look, the international breaks, they're a bit poor, and it's good to be able to talk about Tottenham. And look, Jordan, it's good to have you on my channel, my man. It's very nice to have you on. But look, we have a super chat here from Rob C. He says, fascinating video about Son the other night, Will, and the expectation on his shoulders back in South Korea. Well worth to watch. Sorry, I was thinking soldiers, North Korea. That's not a good direction to go down whatsoever. Sorry, he said shoulders in South Korea. But big up Rob C. Yeah, no, Will, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. And, the guy speaks Korean. I think his wife is Korean as well. And, he's lived in Korea, so he knows exactly what's going on out there. And you know what I mean? So big up, Will. Big up, Rob C. for that super chat. But, Jordan, what do you want to talk about, man? It's your time to shine.
I've been thinking about enic and the board over the last couple of days. I watched you on Real Tottenham when they were discussing about, enic's success over the last 20 years. I think I'll make my opinion and my point clear. I'm firmly enic out, and I want the board gone. There's been a lot of noise recently about looking at enic's success in the wider picture over the last 20 years and how what they've done to club in terms of consistently getting us in the top four, new training ground, new stadium, making us compete more in Europe. How I look at it personally is when you, and this is any walk in life, when you meet your objectives, you look to progress and you want to achieve more than what you've already succeeded. In my opinion, Levy and the board and ENIC have got us where they want to in terms of challenging. But in my opinion, they have no ambition to take us any further whatsoever. And that's why I want them out. I'd be interested to get your thoughts on that. But you know, that's where I stand, to be honest, and I don't really see them taking this club much further, unfortunately.
Jez, you stumped me there, lad. No, look. Where I stand on ENIC, look, I'm not a big fan of ENIC. I do believe they could have done a hell of a lot more over years in terms of, like, you know, them 1 or 2 investments in January when we really did have a chance to kind of push us on, give us that extra bit of quality, extra bit of squad depth. Never happened. They've neglected everything on the football side completely. I completely disagree with that. At the end of the day, first and foremost, we're a football club. And when you're in football, you want to win trophies. That's what we're all here for. None of this, you know, oh, look, you know, I'm just happy to see Tottenham doing well. No, bullshit. Anyone that's a winner at heart wants to see your club win trophies, and that's why you support them. Whether you're supporting a team down in the conference or whether you're supporting a Premier League team, you want to see your team win a league title and win trophies. And look, I do think they failed us. But then on the other flip side, you know, you have the stadium, you have the training ground, and the business side of it. They've done absolutely phenomenal on the business side. Business side, no complaints. If we could get them to do the business side and leave them put the footballing side into capable hands, someone to make the footballing decisions, that would be brilliant. But look, do I think it's going to happen? No. And on that basis, do I agree with you? Do I think they probably took us as far as they could? I do think so. Look, I always think they've had the vision of buying Tottenham, building the stadium, building the training complex, and selling it on for astronomical amount of profit. I do believe that is their long-term plan. I do believe it's probably been hampered in terms of, you know, the pandemic and stuff like that. And what kills me is if they are at that point, how long do we have to sit and wait for them to sell the club and just sit here on pennies, mediocrity?
Yeah, no, it's a good point, and I think you raise a good point. You know, we can't underestimate Levy's ability to run a business, which is in essence what he's doing. And if you look at it from that perspective, he's doing it well. The amount of money that, obviously without the COVID pandemic, the amount of money this club would earn with the stadium, with revenue coming from NFL concerts and things like that. So off the pitch, you know, I'm not saying that he doesn't know how to run a business, but as you said, for fans, it's what happens on the pitch that's just what's important to us. And at the end of the day, that comes with winning trophies. And from over the last 20 years, which is sort of the time where I've been supporting Tottenham, I haven't seen that sort of drive, ambition from them to do that, unfortunately. So, you know, we can't underestimate what they've done in terms of making Tottenham a competitive club in Europe on the European stage, getting Champions League football on a consistent basis. But if we really want to push on, then I can't see them the ones to be doing that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's a big killer. It's a big killer because, look, ultimately we bought into the project for 20 years, and you know, look, I can't buy into it much longer. There comes a point where you have to start delivering. You know what I mean? We stuck by them for 20 years. When are they going to start repaying us? Now, look, I know. Sorry, my throat's going dry. Look, I know they've given us, a massive, shiny, brand new home, best training facilities in the world. I get that, but that feeds into this idea that now, you know, I get that a football club is a business now. But you should never lose sight of what ultimately you're in the game to do, which is deliver trophies. It's why Harry Kane is at Tottenham, because he wants to try and win trophies, you know what I mean? And if not, he's going to hightail out here. So they've lost complete sight of that and completely just run it as a business now. And it's getting to a point where it's just hurting, to be honest with you. But Jordan, look, great question. I have to say, great question. It should be me asking the questions, but honestly, I don't mind. What else do you want to talk about, my man? I'm sure you have a lot.
Yeah, I was just gonna. It kind of relates back to enic, to be honest, but I think this summer coming up is absolutely huge in terms of what we do, in terms of bringing people in and shifting people out the door. To be honest with you, I've got a long list of people that I want to get out, but realistically, I can see us probably shifting 2, 3, maybe 4 players, and that being about it. So I think we have to be selective with who we choose to get out, and obviously we have to be very selective about who we want to get in as well.
Yeah,
so I think the back line has to be our major focus. I'm not sure if anyone's mentioned it yet as well, but personally, I think we rely on Højbjerg far too much, and
yes.
for me, getting in another defensive midfielder as well would be a wise choice.
Do you think Skip maybe coming in off loan can fill that void?
I do. From what I've heard, obviously I don't see a lot of the Championship, but from what I've heard, he's absolutely killing it there, to be honest with you. But I was listening to something the other day. I think Norwich are more than likely to get promoted this season. And if they were, that might be more of an incentive for Skip to stay at Norwich for them in the Premier League. So I think it'd be absolutely fantastic if he does come back. I think he would fit straight in there, to be honest with you, and do a job there. But it's just whether he stays at Norwich or comes back. So
no, 100%. Look, I think bring back Skip. That frees up either selling Winks and Sissoko, if not selling the two of them, combining that cash and bringing someone else in. That's just my opinion on it. But I know I fully agree with you. In terms of players coming in with Jordan, who would you like to see?
So I think the centre back positions are something that we really need to focus on. I, for a long time, have been a fan of Milinkovic personally. As soon as I heard his name, I went on YouTube, as you do, and you look at all the player reels and stuff. Really, really impressed me. Also, Concert as well. Another player that really impressed me. I think it will be the case that we bring in one centre back in summer. Thinking about how the board operates and probably what Jose will want. I think we'll probably bring in one centre back. I also think we need to look at the right back position as well. I think a few of the other guys have mentioned it as well. That we're in a bit of a situation there where we've got 2 players that really we want to get out of the club. Realistically, that it will probably only be one that we shift. Doherty, for me, I know he's only been here a year, but he has not really done anything to convince me whatsoever that he has a future at Spurs, unfortunately. Which is kind of a shame because I was pretty excited when he came. Excited to see what he would bring us, having seen him at Wolves, but it's pretty clear, the difference in quality between the 2 sides. And I don't think he's cut out for, to play for a team at the level that Spurs are. So I think centre back and right back are 2 positions definitely we need to look at investing in the summer.
100%. Look, I fully agree with John Doherty. I think that's the general consensus that Spurs fans would rather sell Doherty and keep Aurier. We'll just take a couple of chats here. We have Ben Early. He says, big Chelsea fan, but I saw Irish and clicked. I love the energy and keep up the good work, lad. What I said to you, Ben, is that's definitely worth a subscribe, man. That sounds subscriber worthy. Thank you for the comment, my man. I really do appreciate it. We have Mesco Bar. He says, David, where is Mr. Dixon? We need his good judgment. Look, Mr. Dixon's a busy man. You know what I mean? It took a lot to be able to get him on. But I will be doing a Spurs story with him as well. And anyone who wants to know who Mr. Dixon is, he played Terry Silver, the attorney, in the TV show Power. I was plastered all over Netflix. Great program, by the way. We have Crispy 1882, Jordan. He says, careful what you wish for, guys. Levy's not perfect, but he's done amazing things for the club. Well, what do you have to say to that, my man?
Well, what I would say to that is, I think me and David have just said what fantastic things they've done for Spurs, and no way are we underestimating underestimating that in any way. I think without them, we wouldn't be where we are now. But
Yeah.
I think you have to look at the bigger picture. We've got to that level, and we need to push on. I simply don't think that they're going to do that for us. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, look, I think a lot of Spurs fans are starting to think like that as well, lad. John Fitzpatrick said here, he says here, if we strayed at the lane, we wouldn't be fighting for top 4, wouldn't have the funds. We wouldn't. I don't know, you know. I don't know, to be honest.
I think when you look at when we was in our prime under Pochettino, when we was at White Hart Lane and in that transition from the lane to Wembley, we really had the squad there to push on. And I think had we stayed there for an extra season or two, we would have been able to push on and perhaps win the league or a couple of trophies. So I think there's two ways of looking at that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there is. Emily Dunn here with a super chat. She says, great show, supporting the Harris Army. 100%. Everyone else, get your super chats in. They've dried up a bit over the stream. Get your super chats in. Help a fellow Irishman take his channel to the very top of the YouTube game. I'm bringing out more and more content. My creative juices are flowing. I have more stuff lined up. I'm bringing the two boys on, the brothers, for a quiz. We're going to see who's the best brother, who's the most knowledgeable. So look, get your super chats in. Help support this channel, and it guarantees your comment will be read out as well. But Jordo, look, it's been a pleasure. Is there anything else you want to say before we bring on the next few guests, my man?
No, nothing for me. Obviously, great to be on. Cheers for having me on, David. And it's your first fan show, so hopefully I'll be able to come on again in the next couple of weeks. But other than that, keep your head held high, and can't wait for Spurs back. Before you go, you're a gold member, aren't you? No, I'm white at the moment, but I'm getting. All right. I thought you were going to say for your payday, David. So you never know. Yeah, you never know. But no, Jordan, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you so much for coming on. And what I'm going to say to you is these shows are going to be one a week now. So, Jordan, anytime I want to see you on here. I love speaking to you. I speak to you on the Matt Hayes watch-alongs as well. I love having a good conversation with you. Look, I was a bit nervous today. Like you said, it was my first one. I was a bit nervous, but look, I think it's going well. And, of course, without having people to chat to like yourself, you have Arthur, Will, you have Joe, without people to chat to, I wouldn't be able to sit here and do it. So big yourself up, Jordan. And thank you so much for coming on and having this conversation with me and getting your voice out there, my man. Yeah, no, thank you. I know you're probably nervous, but you're smashing it, and it seems you're not short of people to come on. So, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Jordan, man. You have a good weekend, and I'll see you on the next one, all right? You too. Cheers, David. See you later, man. Cheers. So, guys, look, I have a special coming next for you. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be very exciting. We have two people that've been waiting there a while now, so we're going to get them on. And, of course, it's going to be a collab. We are going to have Mr. Brian Daigle from Tottenham away, and we are going to have Bob Spur. We're going to have Bob from Bob Spur TV. How are you keeping, lads?
All good, gents. How are you?
I'm all good. I'm all good, my man. Smiling. Bob, how are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. Fighting fit as always. Good.
And Brian, I hope you're keeping well.
Yeah, the vein in my forehead has just stopped throbbing from my We Are Tottenham TV rant. It's just dying down now, so it's all good.
Dave,
that was an epic rant as well. I was sitting back loving it. You know what I mean? Sitting back, chilling out, watching it. I knew it was coming. But, I thought personally you could have went a bit harder, Brian. I thought you were a bit soft.
I was surprised how calm I was. I was actually, when I rewatched it, I was like, bloody hell, I was quite calm. Because believe me, I wanted to go I could have gone about another 10 levels higher, but I'm glad that I did stop, because we might not be having this conversation right now.
No, sometimes when you get too heated, lad, it's just best to turn off the camera. But look, we'll just take this quick question here from John, and then we're going to get straight into it. What if we sell Kane? Oh, John, I don't want to be thinking about that, to be honest with you. We don't have great track record of buying strikers over the last while. You know, you're talking Janssen, Sadado, players like that. I don't think the board will, you know, invest the money adequately. So I want to keep Kane. But that's my opinion on it, John. But look, lads, we'll start with you, Brian. The way we're going to work this, because there's 3 of us, Brian, the whole idea, point to the show is you come on, tell us what you want to talk about. You let us know what you want to talk about. Me and Bob will chime in with our 2 pence. And then after that, we'll switch it off to Bob. And Bob can tell us what he wants to talk about. And then we'll chime in, then Brian. So, Brian, we'll start with you. What do you want to talk about, my man?
Well, do you know what it is? I thought there's been so much doom and gloom this week. What with Levy, what with Bale, what with Kane, what with this, what with that. I thought we'd have a bit of fun. So let's just pretend you're Jose Mourinho now. And you can sign a Tottenham goalkeeper, a Tottenham defender, a Tottenham midfielder, and a Tottenham attacker in their prime that isn't currently in the squad now. Who would be your 4 picks?
Easy.
Go ahead.
Paul Robinson, Ledley King, Gaza, and did you say striker as well?
Yep.
Lineker.
Okay, I've got 2 of your 4.
Oh, go on then.
Okay, so mine would be Ledley King as the defender, Modric as the midfielder, goalkeeper. Oh, lads, I've watched some woeful goalkeepers. I'm going to go with Gomez. I suppose I like Gomez. I thought when he was on fire, he was good. And my striker, I'm going to go with Jurgen.
Yeah.
So you've kind of all got it. So mine, I loved Paul Robinson.
Yeah.
Paul Robinson was, to me, I love him. His connection with the fans, his attitude.
Yeah.
I loved him. Now, the other one I would go for, I would say Ledley King, but I love Jan Vertonghen. Love him.
Yeah.
Like Paul Gascoigne is my favourite ever Spurs player. Jan Vertonghen is my second. So Ledley, so I'm going for Jan just on my obsession with him. No matter what question or how many times I get answered this question, like if you could sign one Spurs player in their prime, who would it be? Every single time, Paul Gascoigne.
Yeah.
Every single time, Paul Gascoigne. And then up front, it would have to be Jurgen. It would have to be wunderbar Jurgen Klinsmann. That man was a superstar.
I love these diving celebration when he scored on his debut to wind up the press. Everyone was talking about him.
It was absolutely brilliant. That was. I mean, so Jurgen Klinsmann was the first season I started going with all my mates properly. The next season I had a season ticket. But some of the goals that man scored, and not just that, his attitude on the training pitch as well. Because you could go to the training pitch was at Mill Hill then, and I used to go to a couple of the sessions, and I met him. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
such a nice guy. Just a shame we only had him for a year.
He's still Spurs through and through, though, isn't he? He always speaks highly of the club.
Completely.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to have to stop you there with 2 super chats for you, lad.
Oh, go on.
First one is from Jordo Stevens. He says, Brian, 100% behind you. Brian, 100% behind Brian and his views. Speaks a lot of sense. That's from the rant he's seen on We're Tottenham TV. And we have Will Stewart, THFC rants. He says, don't worry, Brian. The rant short will be out in a few days.
So I've literally been ranting since Sunday on Will's show. Sunday, then it's just been going crazy this week with my rants about it. But like I said, I can rant till I'm blue in the face. It's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. Unfortunately.
No. Look, it's hard because there's only look, there are things we can do, but it's trying to get the numbers to do it. And without the numbers, it's never really going to change. You do need the numbers. But there are definitely things we can do. But no, look, the board. Look, I'm going to give them this summer, lads. I actually think this summer is crucial for them. I think it's time for them to stick by a manager, back them. You know what I mean? Because if they don't, even if they sack them and the same problem start persisting, they've got a massive problem. Because all the people that Jose is dividing for them right now, once he goes, they've no one else to look to and blame, but up above. And that's when the shit comes. And I think that's where we're going to have major problems.
I've gone well past the give him this summer. That was about 8 summers ago. I can't do it. I just won't do it. I won't do it.
I can't believe John's actually written his name down and sent it in.
Yeah, it's Judas. It's Judas.
Well,
Judas is his name.
Talking to Judas, this is what I said on Will's show on Sunday. This is it's the only way I can clearly define my feelings on Levy. I hate Levy more than I hate Judas.
That's a lot of hatred, Brian. That's a lot of hatred.
It's believe me, I don't think I've ever hated anyone so much in my life. That's the levels of this man, what he's done to me.
Yeah,
I know, Brian.
Yeah,
Brian,
I can feel the pain. To be honest with you, if I was as old as you two guys, I think I'd be a lot more angry towards the board. But just quickly, Sue Smith is saying she's loving the guest on tonight and that. But what else do you want to talk about, lads? Throw out the ideas. This is your time. This is for me to sit back and listen to what you want to talk about.
Go on, Bobby. Over to you.
It's kind of following from what you're saying, Brian. I know what you've been saying about, it's always been our summer. I've been hearing it for years and years. But I think I mentioned it before. The voices have been so loud this year. The loudest I've ever heard from the fans to the board. It's never been so loud, never been so prominent. So I think this summer's not only going to be important in a way for a squad, but I think it's also going to show which way the board's views are heading. Because if they don't perform, very well, Jose, players, etc., but the board need to perform this summer as well. They need to pull it out of the bag as well. They need to show that they've got ambition that matches the players, the manager, and the fans. It's a massive summer for the board. Don't underestimate that. We're not going to sell. It's all very well writing a list of 12 players who we want to get rid of, 8 players. We're not going to sell 5, 8, 12 players. We're going to sell, I think, like Jordo said, about 3 or 4 players max.
Yeah.
And if anything, we'll probably get about 50, 60, 70% of it if we're on a good day of the revenue we generate. So, and then it's all going to come down to how much money are enic, Levy, Lewis likely to put in. So, massive summer for the board, as well as the manager, as well as the players, whoever they are. But it's a big one for the board, and they're going to get all eyes for the first time in the summer. Rather than look at what we've got squad wise and management wise, we're going to be looking at the board to perform this season. And I've never seen, I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen it so bad for the board. So many fans, together voicing one opinion, and majority of the time the same opinion towards the board. So it's a big one for them. Yeah,
100%. I agree with you. Just quickly, we have a super chat here from Wayne Bonner. He says, back a manager, build a squad and sell for profit. And of course, everyone else, take the pressure off poor old Wayno. Someone else get in a super chat and leave Wayno off there for a few minutes. Someone else help him out. All these super chats, they're greatly appreciated. And of course, the all go to help making the channel full time, help me being able to get Spurs content out full time and more content where you guys can come on and have your say. And of course, bringing on the likes of Brian, Bob Spur, and all these sort of special guests for everybody. But Bob Spur, I'm going to let you take this one because, and then I'm going to get Brian's view on it as well. Where do you stand? As it stands, Mourinho's the manager. Would you back him or would you sack him?
Since the Tottenham, since the Arsenal, it's a bit this late, mate. Since the Arsenal game, he's had 2 interviews in the media, and I've never felt sorry for Jose. I've never looked at Jose and thought, "Oh, there's a broken man." We've broke him. We've given him the worst, the most losses in the season ever.
Yeah.
You know my thoughts towards Jose, Dave. There are things that he's got wrong this season. I think you admit that to an extent as well. There are things.
No, I do think there are some things he's got wrong.
Yeah, and for me, the worry was the sudden decline that we had from after being top. Put that all to one side.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, for the players to turn it on and off, it has been worrying. I'm just talking to you now, Brian. So for me,
no, I'm here, lad. I'm here.
Right,
I'm here.
Right.
Don't worry, I'm listening.
He's rolling his fag. So for me, it's going to come down to how because we're all saying Jose and Jose out. Jose might look at this summer and think right, are the board going to perform for me? If the board turn around and say, right, Jose, you've only got 20 million to play with, there's every right he might turn around and say, you know what, sod you guys, keep your 30 million. I've got enough money in the pocket. Pay me over 20 years, like Levy likes to do, and I'll see you later. He might walk away.
Yeah.
If the board don't bash you to be, he might say, sod you guys, see you later. So, like I say, no matter how you look at it, it turns around, it goes around, and it ends up with the board. It all ends up with the board. And if he gets full backing, who's to know? For me, he's ideally, he does need to get Champions League. That's ideally.
Yeah.
Because that was his remit to come in.
Yeah.
And he's shown that he can get a good performance out of the players for a consistent basis, be it, you know, a month or 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, no matter how you look at it, the board's ambition needs to match his as well. Otherwise, we don't deserve him. Just like we don't deserve Harry Kane and Sonny. If we can't match these people's ambition, then we don't have the right to keep them. As far as in my opinion.
100%. Look, I don't think anyone would begrudge Son and Kane if they left, to be honest with you. Just before we do pass it over to Brian, look, see, if we do get rid of Jose, where do we go? Because anyone looking from the outside in, they're going to put 2 and 2 together, and you know they are going to get 4. Because Jose Mourinho and Pochettino, they can't both be bad managers. You know, so I do think it's a very, very tricky decision. Brian, what's your opinions on Wayne Bonner's super chat here? And then we have another one from Danny Kiriakou to get to. Big up, Danny.
So,
Danny,
we should back Mourinho. But what I don't understand is Mourinho has said for about 20 years I've been trying to court him. For 20 years I've wanted him at Spurs, for the best part of 20 years. Now, if you've been looking at him very, very closely, you know exactly how he operates. You know exactly how he moves. You know, you've had 20 years to scout him, basically. You had 20 years to do your research, 20 years to see what he does, 20 years to see what tools he needs, and 20 years to see when he starts going crazy and losing the board and everything. So you bring him in and you don't back him.
Yeah, it's criminal.
You've had 20 years. Real Madrid, Porto, Inter Milan, Chelsea, Manchester United, always spends big. Maybe not at Porto because he started there. But it's like he always spends big. He always gets back and he always wins trophies.
But don't you think the board would have promised him that, Brian? Don't you think the board, one of the reasons Jose would have signed would have been because Levy enic have turned around to Jose and said, right, maybe it's something we don't know. Maybe we've got like £200 million in the bank somewhere and he's going to give it to him this summer. There's no.
It's not that, Bobby. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I think it is. I think Jose Mourinho said when they started speaking about budgets and started saying this is what you got to work with. I think he would have said, "Listen, you haven't got the hundreds of millions you've had at your previous clubs." And then I think Jose Mourinho has turned around and said, "Right, if I find a player within the budget and the pay salary that you've given me, I don't want any of this Daniel Levy bullshit where it takes 5 weeks to sign people. You start haggling." If you look at it, they may have not been the best signings all the time, but Joe Hart and Matt Doherty, Alistair Gold mentioned it one day, the next day it was done. Gareth Bale,
Højbjerg as well, mate. You know, we looked at him in the summer, targeted him, and we signed him as soon as the season was over. That's the compromise I personally feel that they came across. That Mourinho said, right, if I find a player within budget, don't mess around, go out and get them. Do you know what? Would I love to be here at the end of the transfer window in the summer saying, I take it all back, Daniel Levy, you're a god, you're a messiah, you're this, you're that. Yes, I'd love to. But will I? Hell no. Because I know what's going to happen.
Daniel Levy. If anyone ever gets this to Daniel Levy, please make him stand so we can see Brian at the end of the transfer window saying he got it wrong on Levy, please, because ultimately it means we're going to get success as well.
Mate, I'll wear a sandwich board and ring a bell all through Toronto for you. No problem at all.
That's worth 200 mil as it is.
Yeah, 100%.
I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll just take John Fitzpatrick's comment here, and then we'll get on to Danny Kiriaku's super chat. Big up, John, all the way from Australia. Big up, man. For me, Jose is still a top-class manager, and if we back him, he can bring good times to Spurs. Look, 100%, I've always maintained that throughout. And look, my position on that is that, look, he was back to an extent in the summer, but is it back to what we need? No, it's not Jose's Mourinho squad. No one can sit here and tell me this is his squad. There's players that have been here too stale. And for me, I would rather give Jose the money to spend. I'd rather trust Jose with my money than the likes of Nagelsmann, who has a huge scouting network behind him. And let's be honest, the players are kind of, handpicked for him. That's my opinion on it. We have Danny Kiriakou. Big up, Danny. Everyone here knows who Danny is. He's in that chat that Bob Spur put together for the Tottenham family and that. He says, goalkeeper Pat Jennings, great choice. Centre-back Ledley King, great choice. Midfield Gaza, great choice. And striker Jimmy Greaves. This is a guy, he loves his old school players. He's showing homage to them. Fair play, Danny. Absolutely love that. And of course, everyone else, get your super chats in. Big up Danny for taking the pressure off Wayne. But everyone else, get your super chats in. We're going to go for about another 10, 15 minutes, and then we're going to end it off there. So you have 10, 15 minutes to get your super chats in and get your questions in. And of course, it helps the channel and it guarantees your comment to be read out. But lads, where do you want to take this conversation to next?
It's your topic now. You choose a topic.
Yeah, you'll go now.
Right, for me, so I'm going to ask you a question. For me, I'm interested about players coming in because I'm sick of talking about Harry Stinks, Moussa Soul Train, Mr. Anonymous, players like that. I want to talk about real players. I want to talk about proper footballing players. So, lads, right, if we could get 3 defenders out in January and we could bring in 3. So, Brian, we'll start with you. What 3 would you get rid of and what 3 would you bring in? And then we're going to give it to Bob Spur.
Are we talking defence and defence, or are we talking throughout the squad? So am I selling 3 defenders to bring in 3 defenders, or am I selling 3 people to get
3 people, 3 people in?
Yeah, okay. 3 people out, 3 people in.
Go on, Marcelo.
Wiggs, Aurier, Wiggs, Doherty, and Dele to get out.
Yeah.
In Max Aarons. If we keep trying to buy potential with big sell-on point, I think Max Aarons has got it big time. Max Aarons looks like a class right winger that could be right back for years and years to come, which will also help with the English quota.
Yeah.
Defender, I would either go for Skriniar or the Fulham dude. Is it Anderson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those two. And then, oh God, who would I go? I think it's got to be Sabitzer. I think it's got to be.
Yeah, I'd say Marcelo sitting there smiling when you said that name. Anyway, big up Marcelo, big up my brother. Sorry you couldn't get on either, lad. But look, next time, Marcelo, I'll definitely be doing something with you shortly, my man. But yeah, go on. Who's next?
I've done the 3.
So Sabitzer. Yeah, I'm a fan. You said Max Aarons, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, Max Aarons, I'm a huge fan. The only thing on that, lads, do you think we missed our opportunity last summer to sign him?
Well, you know what it is as well? I've got a friend that's actually a Norwich fan that used to work with me here in Toronto. He's back in, he's actually gone to Holland now. But he's been giving me weekly breakdowns of Skippy. And this guy is waxing lyrical. Obviously, he's played every minute. He's getting man of the match every time. He's going straight in. So you got that. And then you've literally... Max Aarons we should have got, but I'm not going to say why we didn't get him because it's fairly obvious why we didn't get him. It's a lovely little chairman that we have.
Yeah.
A lovely little chairman we have that's great. He makes Del Boy look like a great salesman. So Max Aarons, huge fan. I really think if you want to buy potential with huge sell-on value, A, he's English, B, he's young, C, he's got the potential to be there for 7, 8, whatever years. And if you do sell him, you're only going to get a huge sell-on fee.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No. I would go along them lines. I'd agree with you. And we'll get Bob Spur now in 1 second. John Fitzpatrick, he says, Harry Winks is dead to me. Man, John, the amount of abuse you've given me over the time about talking about Harry Winks. But no, honestly, I'm only bantering you, man. I'm glad you've seen the light. Man. And then we have a quick super chat here as well. Rob C, big up, Robbo, my man. He says, first person out this summer, Steve Hitchen. Yeah, I think many of Spurs fans would agree with you there, Rob. Big up, Robbo.
I think we should bring Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder in to do a better job than
they probably will.
Steve Hitchen, because they've got enough talent.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. But big up, Rob, man. Big up, Robbo, for the super chat, my guy.
That's right.
But Bob Spur, let's go. Let's hear yours.
I'm going to cheat. I've done the most realistic and affordable first 11 for next season on my channel.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So I'm just going to read that out. I've got Pope in goal. I've got Hakimi on right back, Botman and Konza in central defence. I think we probably missed the boat with Skriniar. He's playing so well for Inter Milan. Regan on a left back. Got Pierre and Sabitzer in the pivot. Ndembele as a 10, and Sonny and Kane up front. That's a team.
Yeah.
And I think working it out as well, guys. It's if we played it right, if we sold the 3, which I think unfortunately will go. I think Sonny. Oh, not sorry, Sonny. Doherty's going to hopefully go, and his value's dropped. Same with Ali. Whoever we sell, their value's dropped. I think we'll possibly get rid of 4. Simply, I think Winks wouldn't come into the unfortunate first teamer that we've had to sell because it's hardly featured. So Winks is going to go anyway, and I think Doherty, Ali, and there's one more. It'll come back to me. It was 4 in total. Sorry, Winks, Doherty, Ali, and there was one more, but I'll think about it. I can't remember who it was. Lamella. Sorry, Lamella. I think we'll move on because there's a lot of interest from Italy, isn't there? From Roma as well. So, I think we'll probably get rid of 4. And if we get the guys we mentioned in, if we play the cards right, we're looking about spending about 40-50 million, which would be great business.
Yeah, no, that would be fantastic business. And Dan N says here, out Dyer, Winks, and Doherty in Aarons, Milinkovic, and Dybala. Lads, I'll get back to that now in 1 sec. I just want to welcome Mr. Brandon Victor Dixon, everybody.
Yes, Brandon.
Let's welcome him into the house.
Go on,
Passing
Brandon.
on, Grealish and Fernandes are fireable options. Fireable offences. Sorry, passing up on Bruno Fernandes and Jack Grealish are fireable offences. 100%, I agree with you, man. Look, with Jack Grealish, this is what annoys me because everyone, when he was in the Ireland set and underage, everybody knew this guy. He is going to be class. Everybody knew it, right? It's all everyone talked about. And we don't cap him first of all, which really annoyed me.
7
you know
million.
What I mean? Before he even got his mind swayed. And then, you pass up to sign him for a few £1 million. It's criminal. Bruno Fernandes, look at the impact he's had at United this season. And with his mentality, the way he snaps the snares at players, he'd be a perfect fit for Jose Mourinho. An absolute perfect fit. But big up, Brandon. Welcome, my man. And we have another super chat here. Of course, everyone else, look, another five or so minutes. Get your super chats. Get your questions in for the panel. And, it really does help the channel as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for the super chats and that as well. Joe Grimes, big up Joy, was on earlier on, my man. He says the homegrown issue needs to be fixed this summer. On the homegrown issue, lads, we have Skip coming back. We have Sessegnon coming back. So do you think it's going to be as a major problem this summer? Because don't forget we have Harvey Wright. Dane Scarlett, I think Mourinho said he'd probably be in with the first team next season. So do you think homegrown would probably be a massive issue?
It could be, depending if we're in the Champions League or depending, because it's all good having English players to fill up the quota, but if it's the Champions League, you need English quality.
Yeah.
Not just throw people on there to make 25. You need English quality. And as we know, the English market is the worst market to be in. And if people know we're in the Champions League, they're going to want more money. Guess what we don't spend? Money. So I think if we're in the Europa again, then we should be fine. But if we're in the Champions League, it does need to be looked at, fixed, and spent on.
Yeah. No, I agree. Bob?
Yeah, I think we were right on the homegrown front, mate. Purely and simple reason we've got so many young players coming through as well. Unfortunately, Levy will look at that as well. You know, the likes of Lavinia and Skippy and Tanganga, you know, Scarlett, like you mentioned as well, Harvey White, Alfie Devine. So, you know, we've got a few. Jack Clark, I think he's another one we'll probably get rid of in the summer. Yeah, I think because of the youngsters we have, I think the homegrown aspect, I think we'll be fine on that. Yeah, I think it's size. I think it's the size, isn't it, Brian? It's a size of squad rather than the homegrown talent, because it's certain players that we're going to have to move out to get the equation right, and same in the European squad as well. But no, I think as a number, I think we were right on the homegrown front.
100%.
We could always improve, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Top-notch banter here from Escobar and Brandon Victor Dixon. Escobar says, Ghost is innocent, same as Tommy. And then, of course, Brandon Victor Dixon, that's why I got him off Escobar. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
We need Brandon to go and meet Levy, have a little sit down with Levy, don't we?
Oh please, Brandon,
that'd be nice.
I will come with you. You can represent me.
No, Brian.
No, Brian. I think we're going to have to take you off for a day out. Drop Brandon off, and we're going to have to bring you for a bit of food or something, lad. You know,
he's already got a restraining order out against you, mate.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Really wouldn't. Really. We have a super chat here from Will Stewart, THFC Rads. He says, "Thanks again for having all of us members on tonight, David." No, big up, Will. No, look, Will, you know, it's a part of the membership perks. You guys pay for it. You know, I've had time to put it all together, get it out there and stuff. And this is going to be once a week. So everyone be prepared. Come on with your topics that you want to talk about. I don't want to, talk. It's whatever you want. It's not my opinion. It's whatever you want to talk about, and we'll discuss it. I want to do it a little bit different. But big up, Will. Thank you so much for the super chats. And, of course, everyone else, follow Will's lead and get the super chats in. Brandon, no, but my neck sure did from getting choked out 10 times to get to take before they tossed me in there. 100%.
Yeah, he spent a bit of time in his boot, did Terry Silver?
Yeah. Do you know what? I never asked you. Brandon, if you want, let us know in the chat below. How did you manage to get on Power, my man? How did you manage?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That'd be very interesting.
He ain't going to tell us.
I have to say as well, let's just have a quick chat about Brandon and Power. Power, I got recommended it by a good friend of mine when I was living back in England.
Don't put any spoilers out. I've not finished it yet.
I'm not going to do any spoilers. I'm not going to do any spoilers whatsoever. But I have never seen a show through word of mouth just blow up. Everyone was watching it. It is one of the greatest things I have ever seen on TV. Ever. It's just brilliant.
It's tense. Acting's brilliant as well, mate. It's phenomenal. Brilliant. So on the edge. It's so on the edge as well.
And do you know what's bad about it is I sat there one night and I was like, it was the worst show to go to bed to, because you're like, I'll watch one more.
Yeah, what's happening? Yeah, I can't wait.
And then the next thing you know, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. You're like,
binging it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great show. Anyone that hasn't watched it, watch it, because this is a superb TV show.
And I would say as well, you've got the same storyline running through every episode. There's different stories, but there's a singular storyline running through each episode. That's
correct.
That's basically, you get twisted.
It's always, I don't want to. It always ends on a cliffhanger. It always ends on a cliffhanger. It wants you to watch more and more and more. Many nights where I'd chilling in bed before work, I'll watch one episode. No, second episode. I have time for one more, third episode. Then I'm left for 4 hours left for work. So, Brandon, I do blame you for that as well, my man. Escobar says, I bet you did, you kissed his wife, though. 100%. Sean O'Neill, no, he's not. He's not. And he says, big up, my man. Big up. Big up, Shawnee. Are the Power spin-offs worth watching? Yeah, I just watched one. I finished watching one. It's very good.
One.
Yes.
It's phenomenal.
Very good. Yeah, 10 episodes. Brian. It's unbelievable. Just finished watching it. I don't want to ruin it for Brian. or for Bob. Brandon Victor,
Yeah.
she says he appreciates the love by everybody. Brandon, of course, you deserve it, my man. Tin Man
Yeah, man.
007, evening, lads. Would you buy Coutinho for the report? Asking price of 40 million. We are badly in need of some creativity since Ericsson left. Big up, Tin Man. Welcome to the stream, my man. You know, we are going off now in 5 minutes. So everyone, of course, get your super chats in. 5 minutes to go, and then we are officially off. So get your super chats and get your questions in. But we'll take this one from my man, Tin Man. Lads, what do you think?
I
It's
would
the
take
age, isn't it,
Coutinho
Brian?
straight away. I would
You
take Coutinho all day long. All day long. But do you remember we could have had him a couple of seasons ago? And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
what happened again? Remind me. It's
He
something
didn't want to
happened.
play.
I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Levy happened. Levy happened.
Pochettino gave him his chance in Spain.
Yeah.
He said he wants to come and work with Poch. Everything's done. All the work's done. I want to come and play for Spurs. I want to come and play for the manager. And then, the greatest chairman that walks God's green under God's hot sun struck in. I could honestly, can you imagine if you have a little thing to think about the starting 11 we could have had?
Oh, mate, don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, look, it's painful. It's painful, some of the players we missed out on. Coutinho, I don't know if I'd sign him now, though. I don't know. It's
40 mil. For 40 mil.
For 40 million, I reckon that could go. You know, if we've only got a limited budget as well, Brian, for that age as well, and the fact is not really, you know, smashed it in the last Barcelona or Bayern. I think that 40 million could possibly be spent elsewhere on a younger player. He's nearly 30 now, isn't he, mate?
If you get the Coutinho, you got to remember, if Coutinho was to come back, maybe not to Tottenham, but to any Premiership team, he knows the Premier League.
Yeah, that's it. He's got the experience, isn't he?
Yeah. He knows this league inside out. He's going to slot straight back in.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Brandon Victor Dixon's come back in, lads, with the answer to the question that we all want to know. The creator saw me as Aaron Burr in Hamilton and offered me the part. Boom. Absolutely love it, man. I'd say you full on deserved it, man. You know, and you were absolutely great in the TV series. I really enjoyed it. And you've done a great job as the attorney. You know, it's very interesting. Look, I never thought starting this channel I'd ever be talking to someone like you, Brandon, my man. So big up. Thanks for being so humble to come in and talk to all of us Spurs fans. We have Holly back in the building.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, this is a personal question to you, really. So I hope you don't mind, we've got a Twitter feed set up calling it the Spurs family, and me, you, Brian, we are Tottenham, Matt, Josh, everyone's on it, and we'll basically get on. There's no sense of competition or anything. So for you personally, I know you started off, we spoke earlier, you started off as just wanted to chat and see how it goes. Has it come to a point now, mate, where you want to go full time?
Yeah, I'd love to go full time, Bob. Look, I grew up with a dream of wanting to play for Tottenham. If I couldn't play for Tottenham, I wanted to work in the club. And if I can't work in the club, I want to do something talking about the club.
Yeah.
And, you know, so this is my third option as my dream. It's not my first or my second, but it's my third. And for me, look, I would love to make this full time, you know, but, you know, see, I live out at home. I have rent. I have a missus to look after. You know, I have rent to pay. I have weekly bills, monthly bills like everybody else and stuff like that. So, you know, if I was to go full time, I'd need sponsorship. I'd need, you know, the super chats to keep coming in the way they are, and the channel memberships to get more and more. You know what I mean? But look, if I can make it by the time lockdown's up, that'd be huge. That's my aim. But look, even if I don't, I'm still going to put in the time, and I'm still going to be here every evening after work, putting out content, putting out shows. I'm never going to stop. I want to try and make my dream a reality. And I would love to, but whether it will or not, I don't know. Look, I don't think I will get the sponsors, to be honest.
Mate, there's no reason why you shouldn't. Your passion, the way you talk, and the way you're growing, it'll be Levy-esque not to take advantage of a channel like yours. Don't you think, Brian?
Do you know what? I think that name is just going to haunt me. I've got a funny feeling my last word on my deathbed is going to be Levy. I've got a really bad feeling about this now. It's really gathering pace. But David, like I said, you and me speak a lot, and everything you've been doing, you can see the reaction you get when you go live or when you post a stream.
That's it.
I loved doing my Tottenham story with you last week, or this week we did it Ready to Go. David, the ideas you're coming up with, and like Bob has said as well, the video you done this time last week, the work you put into it, the way you speak, the way you address the Harris Army, the way you make sure that you get as many messages read out as you can, your approachability, your likability is there, mate, in abundance. And you will just continue to grow, mate. I'm a strong believer you get out what you put in.
Exactly.
And if that goes on for you, you'll be a very, very happy man.
I would be, but honestly, lads, you know, it's too much. Look, I'm just an ordinary Joe Soap. I just turn on the camera and I just be myself and put my content out there. The fact that people enjoy and love listening to my shite talk, I'll never understand it, but, you know, it really does mean a lot. And look, thank you so much to you two lads for them kind words.
No,
you know what I mean? It does mean a lot, you know, it really does, without getting too emotional or anything like that, you know. Look, it's very nice to hear these things, that you are going in the right direction and that people are liking your stuff and stuff like that. So big yourselves up. I'm just going to take this thing from this super chat from LB. And I have two questions I want to ask you two guys as well. What's your favourite show on Netflix, David? Mine is Queen's Gambit. Favourite show on Netflix? I have to say, I can't get over Making a Murder. I love that. There's another one there as well. I can't remember. It's another fucked up one. I can't remember. Can't remember the name.
Stranger Things for me. Stranger Things. I love it. My kids love it as well. Scary.
I've never watched it.
Stranger Things, mate. And they also put the whole Luther series in there as well. That's one to watch. But yeah, Stranger Things.
Abducted in Plain Sight, lads. You ever watched that? That's the one.
Which one?
Abducted in Plain Sight.
No.
Oh, gee, is that the one with the really weird family with the girl and the yeah. Don't watch it. It's the most yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to watch it now.
Look, I don't really want to go into too much detail what it's about, but you know, everyone get over and watch it. David, for reporters for the World Cup, thank you, Escobar. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the love everybody's given me. Holly, Mr. Edwardson, you know, it's all there. Mr. K, Mescobar, John Fitzpatrick, Dan M, Saurav, you know, Sue Smith, Runa LB. Thank you so much, guys. And of course, everyone else. So I'm going to start with you, Brian, and then I'm going to go on to Bob. So, Brian, how are you finding YouTube? And what are your hopes? Of course, like with the channel, are you all looking to go full time and stuff like this?
So, I'm loving YouTube. Whenever I talk about YouTube and where we're going, I can't go any further without saying about the boys from We Are Tottenham TV. So I'm a manager. I'm not working currently at the moment, but I'm a manager in customer service, like a team leader and higher. And one of the things I always found was public speaking. Put me in a room, I'm fine. But public speaking like this, for some reason, I found things hard. I don't know why. And then I kept meaning to go on We Are Tottenham TV for a bit. And then I just always didn't go through with it. And then once I did, it was fantastic. It made me a better person. It's made me more confident. And then obviously we started off as a podcast, Tottenham Away.
Yeah.
And then the dream was to go onto YouTube all along. But obviously when you start doing YouTube, as you guys will know, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of commitment. You've got to keep committed and everything. So the fact that there's 4 of us always helps because we can share the load and it makes it a lot easier. Would I love to go full time? Of course I would. Of course I would. I mean, like you said, David, it comes to the point where we all love our football club. No matter what happens with the club or who runs it or who plays for it, we will always love that club. We will bleed blue and white. And like I said, our dream is to play for the club, but unless I want to sign a 41-year-old smoker, I'll sign for them now. But yeah, apart from that, just to be able to talk about the club. Like in all these dark times that we've been going through with COVID and lockdowns, the fact that these fan channels have been coming out to keep people occupied and keep their mind off of things, it just goes to show the power of YouTube when it's done right and when it's done with people. It's just such a good thing. It's good. Look, if someone had told me 6 months ago I'd be talking to you two regularly, not just on here but personally on WhatsApp or whatever, that's one of the biggest blessings I could take from it. Meeting people in the Spurs community and becoming more than just seeing you on a video, actually communicating with them. So yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Good. No, and look, I think you've been very well received out here. I absolutely love it. Look, I think, Bob Spur's the same. Like, we've both been on, and you're such a nice group of lads. You make us feel welcome, you make us feel at home. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy the banter with you guys as well. And I do encourage everybody, and I mean everybody, to get over and check out Tottenham away. 100%. I just want to congratulate Mr. Edwardson on his new job. Big up, my man, moving forward. Good things to come. That's what we want to see. Positives. But no, and we have a Holly saying preach. We have Sourav saying Brian is fun. Brian, you're getting a lot of love out here, lad. You're putting in the work for Tottenham away. They don't pay you enough, lad. They do not give you enough credit, for the work you're putting in lately. I want to see Brian Leyland get out, man. I want to see him stop being lazy. Tell him to get his ass on here. Tell him I want to see him. Same as Shy. I haven't seen him in a while. Tell him I want to see him. And the other Stelios as well. I want to see Stelios. Get them on here next time, Brian. But I will be doing something with the whole Tottenham away crew. I'll arrange something and I'll get you on and we'll do a show together. Bob.
100%.
Bob. Now, I watched the story you put up the other day.
Cheers, mate. Yeah.
And I have to say, man, it touched me. It touched me. Especially the way you were sharing your feelings and what you were thinking going through the different stages and everything else. Absolutely brilliant. I absolutely loved it. And I just want to say, fair play to you, man. You've been through a hell of a lot. You've come out the other end and you're absolutely thriving off the back of it. To go through something like that with as many kids as you have, you know what I mean, and things like that, it's absolutely amazing to see. And I'm so happy for you, that you're out here now and you're living your best life. And look, hopefully YouTube can give you what you want out of life. But how are you finding YouTube, Bob?
I'm a bit like yourself, Dave. I basically, because of what happened, I was recovering for ages and I couldn't do much with the kids. And me and my 6-year-old are pretty close. And he's into his Spurs. So we'd sit down most of the games and go through it. And he likes his YouTube channels. And he said to me one day, he goes, Dada, why don't you do a YouTube, start a YouTube? So that's what I started doing. Every day's a blessing for me. And without sounding over too cheesy or over the top or too cliche, every day is a blessing for me. So whatever comes of it, I enjoy what I do. The fact I'm still I am recovering at the moment still. So I'm not working. I personally can't wait to go back to work. But if anything comes out of this, brilliant. But like I say, I'm enjoying every single minute. But for me, what's great about you guys, you Dave, Brian, Matt, Charlie, everyone, we are Tottenham as well. We're obviously in Pinnacle, Chris Cowlin, everyone. There's honesty there. There's honesty, there's their own opinions, and there's passion. Everyone's got that in common. Josh as well. There's nothing scripted. I know you had a few issues when you did your video last Friday about all the players and that you were scuffling around with papers, but all of it was from the heart. It was all from the heart, and it was spot on with everything. So, and that's and everyone gets on. Like I said, there's no sense of because I was worried I was going to be a sense of a bit of competition. There's no feeling of that whatsoever. Anyone cannot do enough for anyone else. And I think Brian, you mentioned it. You mentioned it. You're surprised how many friends you've made out of it, and it's true. It's true. I can't wait to get out of lockdown and meet up in a pub and get pissed.
Oh, stop! We'll definitely have to arrange something like that. 100%.
Do a live stream as well.
Yeah,
I will fly
100%.
over. Believe me, I will fly over for that big time.
that'll be good.
Yeah, make sure you do, Brian. You can't be missing out now, lad. You know,
Big
just
time.
tell the missus, look, I have to pop back home. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's all she needs to know, lad.
Correct.
That's it.
Correct.
That's
I've already said to her, once I've had my jabs here and it's safe to fly back to England, I'm booking a flight for the next day. Bang, see you later,
Yeah,
bye.
Yeah. That's what I want to see. No, look, I think we're all getting a bit homesick. I think we all want to get to the new ground. I'm going to take this super chat here from Elliot Walsh, channel member. Big up my man, Elliot. What a hero. Brian is so right. You guys have helped a lot of us get through lockdown. Keep up the good work. Come on, you Spurs.
Cheers.
Yeah, no, I guess, I suppose, you know, look, I only started halfway through lockdown. I'm cheating a bit, but, you know, I guess everybody has, and you know, it's been nice, and I just hope the same support is there after lockdown. I really do. I think, you know, we've all built on everyone's channel. We're all building up very nice families. You know, there's a lot of crossing on the channels, and I love that as well. You know what I mean? No matter what channel you go on to, everyone gets love, and it's what you want. We've created a nice family, and I really do want to keep it going beyond lockdown. Lads, before I want to say a big thank you to Elliot Walsh for the chat. But lads, before we end off, it has gone on longer than what I intended. Have you anything else you would like to speak about before we end off?
Just everyone, have a great weekend. Stay safe. Tottenham aren't playing this weekend, so you can relax. It's not going to get ruined by Tottenham. You can enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
Sit back, relax, be with your family, enjoy. For all the Jewish people that are watching, happy Pesach, Chag Sameach. And yeah, just everyone have a good weekend.
100%. And Bob, have you anything you want to end on?
Yeah, mate. Like I can only echo what Brian said. Have a wicked weekend. Like I said, Tottenham aren't playing. As much as it's nice to probably have a break from Tottenham at the weekend, the internationals just feel like an inconvenience.
Yeah,
now.
I'm getting bored already.
It is. Yeah, it is what it is. So onwards and upwards to the Newcastle game, and sure we'll enjoy it when it comes back. But yeah, have a wicked weekend, and come on you Spurs as always.
100%. And no, look, I want to thank everybody, all the members for coming on today. I was bricking it starting this. I thought I'd have nobody to talk to, you know, but, you know, I've had loads of people to talk to today. It's been absolutely brilliant. So I want to say a special thank you to all the members. We have Joe Grimes, we have Arthur Everett, we have Jordo Stevens, we have Bob Spur, and we have Brian and Will Stewart, THFC rants all on today. I want to see you all next time. I want to see more people next time. Come on, all you people hiding in the live chat. Get on, show us the face behind the name. We do want to chat to you. I want to say a special thank you to everybody for all the super chats today. You really don't know how much it means in trying to help me achieve my dream. You know, without them, I wouldn't be able to sit here and try and make it work full time. So you're all playing your part. Everyone who's liking the streams, even the people who can't afford to put in super chats, you all do amazing work. Every channel I'm on, you follow me around. You know what I mean? You smash the likes, you get the comments in, and I absolutely love it. So a special thank you to absolutely everybody. Look, I want to get everyone, get over to check out Will Stewart, THFC rants. He does the graveyard shift. He absolutely revels in it as well. He loves in it. Get over there, check him out. Get over, check out Tottenham Away with the boys. Like I said, absolutely love the boys as well. So make sure you check them out. They put out fantastic content, and there's a lot more coming up. And as well, my man Bob Spur. Make sure you get over and check out Bob Spur TV. What I was talking about that video he put out about his life story, get over and watch that, lads. You know what I mean? Anyone that it doesn't affect, you know, kind of make you not sad, but touch you a little, you're heartless. You're heartless. That's all I'm going to say. But honestly, the Harris Army, you're all legends. You know what I mean? I absolutely love it. All the channel members, you're all legends. Look, I'm going to come on tomorrow. I don't know whether I'm going to be doing a lot of watch along or a Q&A yet. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, all of you, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you back here next time. Come on, you Spurs. In Joseph we trust, and up the Irish Hotspur.